The honourable member for Calgary-Lougheed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to propose an amendment that has been stamped by Parliamentary Council. It's an amendment to the motion. Would you like me to read it now, or would you like it circulated first, sir?
Please circulate.
I will take my chair until you ask me to proceed, sir.
Members have a copy.
Part, it takes a few seconds, after which we could read it, the amended motion as it would read. So, thank you. I move that Government Motion 16 be amended as follows. A, by striking out concur in and substituting receive. B, by adding the Assembly defer its decision on the recommendation before that the member be required to apologize, and by adding until such time as the Court of Queen's Bench has given a ruling with respect to the judicial review filed by the member for Calgary-Hayes on February 23rd, 2017, after $500. In other words, colleagues and those watching beyond, be it resolved that in accordance with Section 28.3 of the Conflict of Interest Act, the Legislative Assembly received the report of the Ethics Commissioner concerning the member for Calgary-Hayes, dated January 4th, 2017. And the Assembly defer its decision on the recommendation that the member be required to apologize to the Assembly and pay a fine of $500 until such time as the Court of Queen's Bench has given a ruling with respect to the judicial review filed by the member for Calgary-Hayes on February 23rd, 2017. It's a matter of process, sir. I propose this amendment, Mr. Speaker, because I believe that the work that we do in this House is of real importance and real value. And we've had a number of conventions in this House, including those cited today, that assist us with making the most effective use of our time. I heard the government House leaders say, let's proceed and let's get on with the business of the day. Now, we all know that there is only a finite number of days. There's only so many sitting days available to us as legislators. And let us all be reminded our first duty during that time is indeed the well-being of Albertans. I would argue that to debate Government Motion 16 without judicial guidance as to the scope of Section 3 of the Conflicts of Interest Act in relation to parliamentary privilege would constitute a gross dereliction of our duty as Alberta legislators. There are few of us in this House with the prerequisite legal expertise. And I would venture to submit that no member of this House considers themselves an expert in parliamentary law. So to debate this motion before us without a ruling on the scope of Section 3 of the Conflict of Interest Act is completely counterproductive at this time. We should not hold ourselves above the courts, but rather return to this motion. I'm not pushing it away. We're saying we should return to this motion once those with the relevant judicial expertise have had their opportunity to weigh in. To do otherwise would suggest the motion before us, Mr. Speaker, is less concerned with the substance of the issue and more concerned with political theater that I know Albertans are much less interested in. So, Mr. Speaker, I implore this House to exercise its better judgment and allow the courts to deal with this issue in due time. I thank you, Mr.